Another pierogi recipe, this time with mushrooms and sauerkraut. And you can serve it so many different ways, but of course, and it has a very strong connection to Christmas. And how about that? If you want to know how to serve it this way, just stay put. We will get to it. Thank you so much again. Welcome to V's Cooking with Love channel. And how about these pierogis? They look a little bit different. If you are wondering why they are so like a different color, you are right. I made them a little bit on the healthier side with some whole wheat flour and oats. So it is up to you if you want to go that route or not, but of course. And you see, yes, they are served with this special Polish soup that is served actually for Christmas Eve. It's called barszcz in Polish, barszcz czerwony, and I'm not sure if you heard about it, but you have to try it. I can just drink by itself. It is so delicious. And like I said, it is served on Christmas Eve, because actually in Poland, Christmas Eve tradition is a little bit different. I was quite shocked here celebrating my first Christmas with my in-laws, because in Poland we actually don't eat any meat. But like I said, that was our tradition. We eat actually fish and everything that doesn't have meat in it. That's why these pierogis don't have any meat. And Christmas Eve is normally started with the wafer like this, with the beautiful pictures on them that it's shared with the family. Normally, father of the family starts off, and we wish each other the best for this new wonderful year, for this new celebration like this that brings the whole family together. We would even bring some hay or straw for underneath the table, just to commemorate of the birth of Jesus in the manger with the animals. And yes, you see, they are made with mushrooms. In Poland, however, we were making them with porcini mushrooms that I would pick them with my grandpa in our forest, and of course with sauerkraut. So we have those two ingredients and some additional goodies, so let's cook. But of course, and if you are wondering what is strawberries and blueberries have to do with these pierogis, nothing. That's a totally different video. These are another versions, just pierogis, of making them without meat. So if you are dreaming about strawberries or blueberry pierogis, stay put for that video as well. So we have our mushrooms. I have here portobello mushrooms. You can just use regular mushrooms. Like I said, in Poland we would pick the mushrooms in our forest, and they would be dried and rehydrated for this recipe. But I make them this way here, and they are delicious as well. And we are just adding some onion, garlic, not too many spices, just salt and pepper. If you want to try out some different spices that you maybe would like to add to it, go ahead and please let me know how it turned out. And of course, the sauerkraut, try to find the fermented one. That is a little bit healthier for you. First, we are getting water for our sauerkraut, because yes, we will be cooking it. I have about 10 ounces of mushrooms here, and I do like to slice them by myself. I don't know, the stores ones, they are a little bit on the thicker side. I like to kind of make them just a little bit less when I make those slices, like I said. And we will be sauteing them with some onion. So yes, when you cleaned up all your mushrooms and sliced them, or just bought them sliced, and we are adding, of course, some onion first to our preheated on the medium heat frying pan with a little bit of oil. We didn't even use any kind of animal fat, so if you want to use butter, go for it. But I'm just using olive oil here. We normally used our homemade canola oil, and let me tell you, oh my gosh, that canola oil, I have never eaten like that one again since I left Poland, and we don't even grow that anymore. So here you have a couple tablespoons of some sort of oil, and here come our diced up onion. I only use like a little small onion here in this recipe. And you can even serve these pierogis with some sauteed onion like that too, later once they are cooked, boiled and all. So just for whatever recommendation. So once the onion is getting a little bit of translucent, we'll add some garlic. If you don't want to add garlic, you don't have to. My garlic cloves were a little bit on the smaller side, so I added 3. You can go for more. It is really up to you. So once the onion is getting close to be done, we are adding that garlic for that minute to saute it with the onion as well. And when all that is being done, you might want to add a pinch of salt in here too. What's nice about this, I'm going to tell you this now because I don't want to forget it. When you prepare the filling for the pierogi with that cabbage and everything, it's cooked, so you can actually taste that. It is safe for you to taste that filling and add whatever the ingredients that you want. If you want more salt, if you want more pepper, keep it in mind there's no meat here, so you want to be gentle first before you pile up all that stuff that you normally would be doing, because salt and pepper, they will be going a little bit further without meat. Meat has like a absorption going here for that, so keep that in mind. And you see our garlic is done. If you wanted to add some garlic powder on top of that too, I normally do, but it's really up to you how much garlicky you want them here. And once that's done, of course, we will add our mushrooms that they are being ready to be sauteed. And here I sprinkle those mushrooms with that salt and pepper once they are starting to cook. And we just have to stir everything a little bit here and there to make sure we are okay with the bottom of that frying pan. And also sometimes you might need to add a little bit more oil. Sometimes it might need a little bit of oil drizzling to fry these mushrooms, because they will release the fluid, the liquid, and we are just looking to boil out the liquid from the mushrooms basically. So that's basically the recommendation, because you don't want that filling to be wet. That's another tip, especially when you are working with adding the sauerkraut to it. You want to squeeze the sauerkraut after boiling very well to make sure that sauerkraut, after cooking in that water, it is nice and dry. So you see our mushrooms are cooking away here, and we will be able to get our sauerkraut cooking as well. And I used a 4/4 pot in here to boil the sauerkraut first. I only added maybe 2-3 quarts of water, because I only have about 2-3 cups of sauerkraut to cook here. Of course, we are adding the sauerkraut to a boiling water, and you don't add any kind of salt or anything. You will be boiling that sauerkraut for about 5 minutes or so, and then straining it very well and squeezing out all the liquid from it. So just keep that in mind again, because that is very important. So you see our mushrooms are pretty much done. I'm waiting for the sauerkraut to come back to a boil here, and once all that done, we will strain that sauerkraut through a strainer. And I am using the food processor, of course, because I want to get that texture a little bit different for the pierogi to be a little bit more fine. And you see here's our sauerkraut that it's boiling again for about 5 minutes or so. Don't forget to let it first cool off. You don't want to burn yourself, and you can squeeze that water out later. You don't have to do it right away, because of course it will be hot. The same things with your mushrooms, because you can't work that stuffing when the filling for the pierogi when it's hot as well too. So it is easier to just have everything cool off like this, and then add it to a blender or some kind of grinder to grind things up. And we are using the same pot here for boiling the pierogi. So this is, like I said, 4/4 pot, and this time I'll add more water, about 3/4 full. And you see we have all the ingredients added into the blender, and we'll let the blender do our blending and do our work here. Just to chop it up, you might want to mix things around at least once or so to make sure that things they are getting mixed in together really good, if things are not moving around the blades too well. But you see the texture, you're not looking for a total mush. You still want a little bit of chunks there, but they will be way finer to work with than just a whole strings of a cabbage when it's shredded, and you see it looks pretty much like that. That is pretty good. You still have some chunks. It's not a mush completely. And you see, this is my dough that I made it. I am not doing this huge speech here because I made so many pierogies videos. Look them up over there. A cup of unbleached flour, whole wheat flour. I made my cup of oat flour by myself. Just make sure you use a sifter. You will have to get those oats going through the sifter probably 2-3 times by the time you blend them. I use the coffee grinder. And again, oil and an egg, that warm water. So again, if you are using a different kind of recipe that you don't want any kind of white flour in there, go for it. Any noodle recipe out there will work for this dough. Of course, you're rolling it out and cutting the circles about that 3 inches. Again, check out my other videos. I was very thorough on what to do, how to make the dough in there. Of course, we will be letting that dough sit for about that 30 minutes. And the portion of the dough that you are not working with, of course, cover it with some kind of wrap or some kind of dish to make sure that doesn't dry out. And again, we're filling out the dough with our filling. Again, try that filling to make sure it is to your satisfaction, because again, this is really nice that you are able to try that. You know what, it really reminds me a lot of the egg roll for some reason. I know you're gonna agree with me when you try this. I don't like just the cabbage in there. That's why the mushrooms, they add such a flavor, plus so many nutrients, and it is more filling than just the cabbage itself. Cabbage sauerkraut, really. So you can close them the way I'm closing them. Hopefully my tips, they were good enough for you to pick that up. Or of course you can close this easier way with just squishing with the fork. I like to fill them pretty good. This gave me about 30 pierogies here because I made some tortellinis here, so I don't have exact count here, but I'll tell you why I made some tortellini out of that too. So you see, there's some pierogies you can make it. They can be a little bit smaller, they can be a little bit bigger. You can turn them, like I said, to the tortellinis or raviolis as well. So you see, I made some tortellinis here because I served them with that borscht. And I think they just look nice because they are just a one size bite that you're taking with that nice red color, deep red color soup there, and it's just the presentation itself, it's wonderful. Yes, we are always boiling pierogies. They have to go in the hot boiling water, and they are pretty much done when they come up to the surface. Put few at a time. I cook here about 12 pierogies at a time because you just don't pile them all up. Make sure that they don't stick to the bottom, and scoop them out with some kind of spoon that doesn't pick up the fluid with the pierogi. And they just can chill like this a little bit, and you can just serve them with sour cream as well, just like that. Of course, yeah, I know, I like to fry them. And again, you can fry them in butter. You can saute some onion and fry them, and just you see just a little bit of golden color on each side of the pierogi, and they are wonderfully served just like that. And you can freeze them so easy. I'm telling you, just set them on parchment paper. Don't stack them up on top of each other so they don't get stuck to each other. And you can take as many you want, let them defrost for a little bit, or just cook them slowly and refry them again, and they will be hot all over again. Yes, of course, you can reboil them too. So yeah, there is your another version of a pierogi. But wait, don't go anywhere yet, because I told you there is more to this story. The Christmas was just such a timing for these pierogies, and they really remind me, you know, celebrating Christmas at home and with my whole family back in the day. But that was long ago, and most of my family is not even around anymore. My grandpas, of course, and my grandmas. So you see, I remember those days when I made these pierogies with my grandma, and now hopefully I can make them with my grandbabies one day. But here comes your tortellinis, and you see you're just cutting the dough into squares. And I'm gonna show you very briefly over here how I did that, but there is also a video that I made those as well with more directions on how you do this, but you see, you just adding one corner to another, and of course you make sure that the filling stays inside, and close the edges like that, and opposite corners you will just connect them to each other, and you don't need any kind of equipment to make this cute little tortellini like that, ready to serve. Again, we'll be boiling it first, and they will cook way quicker because they are smaller, so the filling is smaller. And you want to cook tortellini separately from pierogis, but pierogis, they have more fillings, so they will not cook evenly for you, so that's probably would be a better idea. And they all look cute. You can even serve them as a pierogi and with this kind of soup. And like I said, this is something I will be making a recipe for as well. So yes, if you are curious, if you never made this, or maybe if you are looking for the recipe that my mom is making it this way, because there's some versions, everybody has their own tweaking, everybody has their own recipes for this, but there is my mom's. This is how she do it. So I will have that recipe coming up your way. So I hope you can enjoy it, maybe for Christmas, or it doesn't matter. This is good all year round, and it is really delicious. I'm telling you, I can just drink this soup by itself. Look at that beautiful red deep color, because yes, it is made out of red beets, but there is some little ingredients that they go with it to make it delicious. So yes, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.